All right, and I believe we're live. So, we have a new player today, which is pretty exciting. Would you like to introduce yourself, player?
I am Eli. I am the best player so far. I am gonna be playing a Minotaur, from what I know, and that's pretty much all I know about my character so far. I'm pretty blind going into this.
Okay. We also got some commentators, Cameron and Davis. Do you want to say hi?
Looks like Davis didn't want to.
All right.
Okay.
Cameron, you're going to have to say hi for both of you.
Hi, I'm Davis. I'm Davis. I play fighting games.
You know, that is not the most accurate representation of my voice I've heard, but
All right.
Good job anyway.
So from now on, I'm just going to mute Davis, and Cameron, you can talk for both of you.
Okay.
All right, cool. And obviously, I'm your GM today. I will be conducting this story. So before we begin, Eli, would you like to tell us a little bit about your little guy here?
Oh, he's a Minotaur, and from what I know, he has 2 alive parents. I think I could be wrong about that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I know. I really don't know much going into this at all. This is a very large mystery to me.
And we're going to switch over to the world real quick. This is where Eli's starting. This is the northern area. And then as we head our way down throughout the Deadly Sea, we see Nabia. This is where he's going to be starting today. It's quite the popular area, it seems. So, other than that, I think we're good to go. Are you guys ready?
Where do I look at the map and all that?
It's on this stream.
It's on the stream,
Oh,
yeah.
shoot. I'll pull that up then.
Yep.
Yikes.
It's okay. All right. Well, anything else?
I think we're
Okay.
set.
Okay. Sounds good. So, with that, let us get started. So, on a calm, stormy night, over in the Dead Sea, we see 2 Minotaurs traveling their way over to a mystical land called Nabia. They've only heard tales of this land, but they are trying to find it. We see the larger Minotaur guy carrying a giant club over his shoulder, and the girl, who looks to be pregnant, is riding on a donkey over throughout the Deadly Sea. Eventually, they arrive at their destination, and eventually we get to see that our main hero of this story, Dag, is born. And that is named D-A-G-G, not D-A-G. Please don't mess that up. So I'm gonna roll some dice.
Oh, speaking of, where is a dice that is there like a website of
Just
dice
look up
that I need
dice
to roll?
roller.
You just type Dice Roller into Google. There's
Yeah.
one right there.
That's what I'm using. So as you're born, the Minotaur family has you, and you seem. Wait, what's your 4th stat?
My 4th stat is intelligence.
All right. With that, as you're a baby, you're always very, very lucid. You're always there. You're always looking around, looking at people's faces. You're always making eye contact with people. And with being a Minotaur, people stare back quite a bit because there are not many Minotaurs here. I'm going to upgrade your charisma once and also your intelligence once. And make sure you mark off that on your pool.
Oh yes, of course. Got it.
All right. So eventually, a few years pass, and you eventually get to early stages of childhood. You're about 7 to 8 right now. What do you prioritize?
Is there any like people I can go talk to or no?
Well, you mainly stay in the house, but
Oh,
if you wish to talk to your parents about leaving, I'll allow it.
Sure. I approach whatever parent is near and talk to them about going out and walking around a little bit.
All right. So, your mother usually stays at home with you, and she looks at you and says, "What is it, son?"
I just I want to, go play and stuff. I'm in this house all the time and it gets kind of boring, I that's all, Mom. I just don't know.
All right. So make a persuasion check.
Okay. Is that a 20?
Yeah, it's a D20.
Nat 20.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
that's a bad sign. I got a nat 20 on my first
Oh,
roll, and then I couldn't get
also,
above a 10.
By the way, on the stream, you can see Eli's Discord name in the bottom left.
Oh, sorry about
It
that.
just says lubricant right there. Kind of funny though.
Sorry. I took it off. So, with that, your mother looks at you and says, "You seem to be getting older. I guess you could go work with your father if you'd like."
Yeah, yes, I would love that, Mom. That seems fun. Thank
Alright.
you.
And eventually your father gets home and he sits down and he usually brings a large leg of meat for you guys to cook. And this time seems to be a leg of lamb, and you guys eat a lot. So you guys all finish it to the bone by the time it's done. And your mother looks over at your father and says, "Son wants to go work with you." And your father looks over at you with kind of stern eyes and kind of puts his burly arms on the table and says, "Is this correct?"
Yes. I kind of bored in this house, and I'm grateful that I live here, but I just kind of bored and I would like something to do.
He looks at you with very intense eyes and he like stares into your eyes. Make a wisdom saving throw.
8.
8. With that,
It all starts.
he looks so intense that you look away for a moment and he says, "My job is very labor intensive. You will have to be trained." And he slowly stands up and comes behind you and says, "Ah, my boy!" And he grabs you from behind and starts wrestling you to the ground. Make a strength saving throw.
13.
All right. With your best effort you can, this burly man puts you in a headlock and says, "Ah, just like his father. Tell him the good news." And by the way, just this is kind of out of character, but you would know this. Your mom name is Bofa, and your dad name's Bruce. They also go by their nicknames sometimes, which your mother's is the Maiden, and your dad is the Battleheart. And your mother looks over at you and says, "Son, I have something to tell you. It's very good news." And she pats her belly and says, "We have more on the way."
What do you mean? I'm getting a little I'm getting a little sibling?
Oh, yes. You will have much more. Me and your father, we love each other.
What do you
That means lots of sex.
Oh, mom, please. Please, that's weird to talk about with your child.
She looks over at your husband, her husband, and smiles at him and says, "Well, maybe after this we can make another baby." And she says, "I will clean up."
Oh, well, I have a question. Do you guys know if it's a little brother or a little sister?
She looks over at you and says, "We do not know, nor do we care."
Oh. I guess that's interesting. I guess I'd rather have a little brother. Nothing against, I don't know, just a little brother to pick on would be nice.
Your dad looks over at you and says, "Ah, my boy, yes, you understand. The pecking order. I pick on you, you pick on the little one."
Okay, Dad.
He stands up after wrestling you to the ground and releases the headlock, and he tells you, "Tomorrow morning you will come with me to work."
Oh, wait, really?
Yes, of course. You want? I give.
Thank you, Dad. I very appreciate this.
And eventually you fall asleep. And the next morning, your dad wakes you up at a very early time in the morning. You usually don't wake up this time. Make a wisdom saving throw.
2.
Oof. You are like dog tired at this time in the morning. You get up, but you are like slouched over. You're like half asleep. And eventually your dad leads you over to a part of the city where you see some people walking around. And he leads you inside a very sweaty shop. You see some other people working in there. Mainly seems to be some satyrs and humans, all looking very big in their build. And you see that there are different things here. There are anvils, there are weapons on the ground, and there seems to be metal, a lot of it. And he says to you, "Do you understand what we do here?"
No, not quite. I don't really get it. What is it?
"I am weaponsmith. I make weapons for adventurers."
Interesting.
He looks at you and says, "I will train."
Okay.
All right, so he stands up and he walks over to one of the metal bars, and he hands you a bucket, which seems to be made out of metal also. All right, so as you do you just like pick up the bucket?
Yeah, I just pick up the bucket and kind of inspect it a little bit, look inside it.
All right, it seems to be made out of some very hardy looking metal, and it seems to be blackened on the outside. He drops some metal bars in there, and make a strength saving throw.
16.
Ooh, nice. All right, so it is heavy, but you do stand your ground. And he says, while I heat metal in fire, you put metal in buckets and hand it to the next person. You understand?
I understand.
All right. So, as he like grabs giant tongs, he lifts it out of your hands, and he puts the metal bucket in a roaring fire. It seems to be a giant furnace. And as he waits a couple minutes, he brings the bucket back out, and inside you see a glowing red, almost liquid. And he pours it into what seems to be a cast for some sort of hammer. Pours it in, and he eventually lets it sit, and he shows you the process of what he does next. He shows you after it cools, he removes the cast and starts hammering away. While it's still hot, he doesn't let it cool. While it's still hot, he hammers away to get it into the mold. And eventually, when it does cool, he starts making it sharp and engraving it.
I asked my dad a question. I go, Dad, I have a question. What's the point of all these weapons? Like, why are we making all these weapons for?
He looks at you and says, "Well, son, there are some people out there. They are called adventurers, and they're better than you. The way that they do things out there, they fight monsters, they battle creatures, and they use these weapons to kill. One day you will be one." And he points at your chest.
What's a monster, Daddy?
Evil creature, man
Aren't we
eat.
creatures?
Yes, sometimes you will have to kill your own, but you'll get used to it. Don't worry. And he also looks over at the sky, kind of looks like he's deep in thought. Man hunting, flesh ripping, mind tearing. You'll get used to it. I got used to it at a very early age.
Okay, Daddy, I guess.
He looks down at you and says, "What? Do you not want to slay creatures?"
I don't. It's just all so new thinking about hurting people and all in my own. And
You know how you wrestle me?
yes.
Well, one day you'll have to wrestle creatures and kill them. Very simple.
Oh, okay. That's better, I guess.
Just imagine, and he gets on one knee and puts his hand on your shoulder. Just imagine you are fighting me, but also killing me.
Dad, I don't want to kill you.
Ah, you will get used to it. And he starts hammering away again. And eventually, the cast cools, and he starts sharpening it over the next couple hours. He eventually shows you the hammer that he just made. It seems to be a very fine weapon.
Can I see that hammer?
He gives it to you. Make the strength saving throw.
4.
You are not strong enough to hold it up, and it falls to the ground. He picks it up with one hand and says, maybe one day. And he tells you, for everyone in the shop, I run. So make sure you come to me if you have question. But you also take orders from them, because you are small and weak. And he looks at you and says, you fill buckets with metal, and you do what others say. Understand?
I understand.
He says, enough for today. Let's go home.
Okay, Daddy.
All right, so you guys eventually go home, and again, just have your normal routine. At this point, I'm going to ask you, because we're going to be skipping ahead a little bit, what are your priorities at this age?
I want to I'm kind of grateful for my dad for letting me experience that at the shop, so I want to help him around the blacksmith shop a little bit, get to know more about, the arts of weapons and helping people a little bit.
Okay.
Because of that lesson he told me about, like, listen to others because you're weak.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else you're prioritizing in? Or are you kind of just focusing everything on that?
I'm just hyper-focusing on making my dad happy and listening to others.
All right, so I'm gonna make you make 2 checks. No, 3 checks. I'm gonna have you make a athletics check first.
4.
Oh.
A 4.
Yeah.
Seems to be you struggle quite a bit with sorry, give me a second. You struggle quite a bit with carrying the heavy buckets and giving them to others. But sorry, give me a second here. Sorry. All right, that should be good. All right. You struggle quite a bit with lifting the heavy objects, but you try your hardest, and I'm gonna make you make a investigation check.
Dude, Nat 1. What's going on?
Okay. So as you're kind of struggling with lifting objects, you don't really have time to focus on learning the process of weaponsmithing. So you don't really learn much in the shop. Also, I'm going to make you make a Constitution saving throw.
11.
11. You don't get sick from all your work, but you do get very wary after every day going to the shop. You do take breaks here and there. Other than that, and have you make a survival check to see how good you're doing at your job.
2. What is going on?
Oh my gosh. You don't seem to be doing very well. And the people are getting pretty upset at you and upset at your dad for having you at such a young age work the shop. And he kind of puts them in their place and says he runs the place, so he gets to make the decisions on the employees. Eventually, after about a couple months, your little brother is born. And his name is Doug. They name him Doug.
Okay, Doug.
All right, and eventually, he starts growing up with you. What is during these stages? Is there anything you want to prioritize in, or do you want to double down again?
Hey, I want to double down. I really want to make my dad proud of me instead of just like yelling at other people for being disappointed in me. I want him to be like, "Oh, my son."
Okay. So with that, please, we're gonna make the same checks. This time at an older age. So make a strength saving or athletics check. My bad.
Natural 20.
Okay. After working in the shop for quite a while, you get strong enough to be able to do your job quite well.
Okay. Do I have to make a
Investigation.
Okay.
This is for
Investigation.
trying to learn.
14.
Okay.
Better.
You seem to be learning from others now that you don't have to worry about dropping buckets all the time, and you actually learn the process of the hammers and the casts a little bit better. Make a Constitution saving throw.
15.
All right, and you are getting more hardy as the days go by. Please make a survival check.
8.
All right. With that, you eventually do get a little sick, and I'm gonna have you roll another Constitution saving throw.
14.
14. You eventually get better and get back to work. Make a survival check.
Okay. 14.
All right. So with that, you seem to be doing pretty well for your job. Some people are actually congratulating you on how much you've learned in the past couple years. Eventually, your mother informs you that another baby's on the way.
Can I talk to her in this scene?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Another baby after little Doug?
She looks over at Doug, who is playing on the ground, and says, "Oh, you will get used to it. Many, many babies will be made here."
Okay, mommy. Okay, that's. Okay. I don't know how to respond to that.
She looks over with almost a thoughtful look in her eyes, and she gets down on one knee and kind of grabs you and points over towards the table and says, "Ah, I remember it like it was yesterday. You were made on that table."
Mommy, please stop. You're scarring me.
She says, "One day you will find a woman, and she will spark you. She will spark your life just like husband does to me."
I will have mini baby?
Yes, you will love making baby.
Okay, mommy.
Oh my god.
How old is he at this
Dude.
point?
He's about like 10, 11.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
being a Minotaur sounds great.
Wait, this is a question just for the side. I'm just curious. How tall is my mom?
She seems to be about 6'5",
Oh, wow. Okay.
and your dad seems to be about
Girl.
7 foot.
Big boy.
Okay. I don't know why I asked that. I was just curious.
So eventually, you do upgrade your stats from working like 24/7 with your dad. I'm going to upgrade your strength by 3.
Wow.
And remember, he liked to do the +1,
Yeah.
+1 thing.
Yes. All right, got it.
All right. Next is your dexterity. Since you're not really moving a lot over in this this blacksmith shop, you're more or less just lifting heavy objects. I'm not going to upgrade your dexterity.
Okay.
When it comes to your constitution, though, since you've gotten sick multiple times and gotten better, you get over a lot of diseases at a very early age. I'm going to upgrade your constitution by 2.
Sounds good.
All right. And then next is your intelligence, right?
Yes.
All right. Since you've been looking around the shop and actually studying your craft, I'm going to upgrade your intelligence by 1.
Okay.
And then next your wisdom. With that, I'm going to upgrade your wisdom by 1 because of just how much you're learning and meeting other people in the weapon shop.
Okay.
All right, and then charisma. Since you were trying to impress your dad as much as possible, you eventually try to learn how to speak like other men who work around your father. So through that learning of social processing, I'm going to upgrade your charisma by 1.
I got it.
All right. So, next couple years go by, and you continue working with your dad, and you grow stronger. Little Doug has grown up quite a bit, and he is now about 3 years old. And your mother has another baby, and his name is Dig.
Dig?
Yes.
Dig, Doug, and Dag?
Yes.
Okay.
Next one going to be Dag with an E.
So it's a brother, right?
Yes, his brother.
I look at my mom. Wait, was he just born like 2 seconds ago, or has it been a little
Basically.
bit?
Okay, well, we can
2
say it's been
seconds. You
like
watched the birth.
it's been a couple days.
Okay. Hey, mommy, I'm very happy to have another brother, but will there be more babies, or are you done? Like,
She looks over at her husband and says, "Hopefully."
oh, mom.
The pecking order increases.
So good. Okay, so eventually you do learn more and study more in the craft, and eventually at an early age, a very very early age, I'm going to allow you to be able to learn. Sorry, one second. Usually they don't learn it this early, but I might allow you if you want. Since you've been working in the shop a lot, if you want, I will allow you to learn the smith's tools and be proficient in them.
Ooh. I mean, sure, I'll go for it.
Well,
It
before
might be
you
like-
before
yeah.
you say anything, do you want me to read what it is?
Oh yeah.
I'll just say every time you're in the shop, you get to use these on your free time, of course. And if you buy them, it will cost you 20 gold, and it's 8 pounds to carry around. So with the smith's tools allow you to work metal, heating and altering the shape, repair damage, or work raw ingots into useful items. Components. Smith's tools include hammers, tongs, charcoal, rags, and wheatstone. Arcana and history. Your expertise leads you to additional insight when examining metal objects, such as weapons. Investigation. So, by the way, that earlier one just means whenever you use an Arcana or a history check, it'll lower the DC in order to do it. Investigation. You can spot clues and make deductions that might overlook when an investigation involves armor, weapons, or other metalwork. And then finally, repair. With access to your tools and an open flame hot enough to make metal palatable, you can restore 10 hit points of damaged metal object for each hour of work. And these are the activities you can spend in your downtime if you have the tools. Sharpen a dull blade, which is a DC of 10, so you have to get 10 or above. Repair a suit of armor, which is 15, or sunder a non-magical metal object, which means break it down, I believe, and that's 15 also. Would you like to get proficiency in this?
If I get proficiency in this one thing, does it take away my ability to get proficiency in others?
Well, in total, for level 0, you can learn the proficiency. It has to be added up to 2. You can either learn 2 languages or be proficient in 2 tools, or you can be proficient in 1 tool and 1 language.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I feel like this really does fit my character because he's just so hard set on impressing his dad and improving the, longevity of the shop and stuff. So I feel like he would over time get proficient in those skills.
All right. So, with that, you do learn the smith's tools, and you are proficient in them. And eventually, your dad notices this, and he tells you. 1 second.
Do I mark anything down for that?
Make sure you write it in your proficiencies, tool proficiencies, down on the bottom left, I believe.
Okay. Smithing.
Yep.
Is that the-
Smith's
okay.
tools. Also, if you ever want to know what they do, and you have access to them, just put another Google tab from Google Chrome in there, and then look up Smith's Tools D&D, and then click on the one that says 5e Tools.
Okay.
Okay, so your father eventually learns that you can actually make your own weapons now. And since you have access to this blacksmithing shop, I will allow you to make anything your dad makes, although not as well. He looks at you and says, Son, I have something to tell you.
What do you need to tell me, Dad?
I know how hard you've been working in the shop, but, I have something else for you.
But what is this? What is it?
I have task. Take a couple days off. Come to the shop, though. You get to choose. Make one weapon, and that will be your weapon.
My weapon?
Yes, for fighting monsters. Slaying dragons.
I go to fight monsters?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Very, very soon.
I thought I was just going to be a blacksmith forever.
Oh, no, 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 no. You would be great disappointment to our family.
Well, oh, Dad, like, what if that's what I want to do?
He looks down at you and says, is that what you want to do?
And that's not what I'm saying. Fighting monsters has always been that interest to me, you know, being around weapons all my life.
Here, let me talk to your mother. Come, come. And you go home and you see your mom and Dig and Doug and playing in the corner. And eventually your father says, I think he's ready to learn the story of how we met.
Story?
So your mother sits you down and they both tell you the story of how they met. So back in their home village, they apparently were both there for a long time. They grew up and knew each other. And your father grew up to be a great adventurer, slaying monsters, and also got his money from the gladiator pits. So he was a great gladiator and fighter. And eventually, a monster came into the town and stole your mother away and locked her up in a castle. Your father, being the way he was, decided this would be a great opportunity to show his worth. And he told his father that he would be leaving that day and going to rescue his princess. And so he leaves, and after a couple months of fighting monsters, slaying dragons, he eventually rescues her from a tower. And they lived happily ever after, until they had you, of course, and then they had to settle down.
Okay, I asked my father, so Dad, why don't you slay monsters anymore, right?
Because I have to take care of you, what do you think?
But I can be on my own. We can slay monsters together, right?
But think. What about Dig and Dog?
Well, I guess. But what if they grow old and they slay monsters too?
Well, then, me and your mother will live a happy life, and we will go slay monsters again.
Okay, are you guys happy now? Not slaying monsters?
Well, as long as we have babies, we are happy.
Oh, okay, I guess. I guess I just feel a little guilty for making you not slay monsters.
Oh, don't worry. And your father pats you on the back and he says, as soon as you slay your first monster, you will make me proud. And all these years of work will be worth it.
When can I slay my first monster?
Well, make your weapon and we will send you off.
Okay. I say okay and, like, still a little guilty for making them, like, you know, stop slaying monsters. I just end the conversation here.
All right. So, with that, I'm going to allow you for the next month or so to try to make a weapon. So there are going to be certain limitations on what you can do. It can only be 5 gold points or less. If you'd like me to list the ones that you can choose and make out of like different metals, then I can let you know. Also, I'm going to only allow you to do the most common of metals for this weapon, just because that this is what is provided for you.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
So, you can tell me what you'd like.
Actually, I have a question real quick.
Yes.
In Navy, so my dad's a blacksmith in Nabia, correct?
Yes, he is. He's the only blacksmith.
The only blacksmith.
No,
so
sorry. There's a blacksmith and then there's a weaponsmith. He's a weaponsmith.
So he's the only weaponsmith in Nabia.
Yes.
So I'm guessing he'd be pretty popular.
For adventurers and like traveling people, yeah.
Okay. I was just curious about that. He was
Yep.
like well known around town, or
Adventurers definitely know his name.
okay.
Um.
So what
Okay.
kind of weapons are there?
Okay. So let me give you the different categories right now. There is simple melee weapons. There's simple ranged weapons, and there's martial melee weapons. And there's also martial ranged weapons.
So what's the difference between simple and martial?
You mean melee and martial?
Yeah, my fault.
It's okay. Okay, the two categories are simple and martial. Most people can use simple weapons with proficiency. These weapons include clubs, masons, and other weapons that can be found in the hands of commoners. Martial weapons, on the other hand, include swords, axes, and polearms, require more specialized training to use efficiently. So martial weapons take a little bit more training to be used properly, but you can do it.
Okay, I'm very
I think you
interested.
should make an axe.
Yeah, I'm
I
very
feel like
interested
that
in
would
making
be
an
that
axe.
like a Minotaur would make an axe.
Like
Okay.
a two-sided axe, maybe.
Yeah,
All right.
dude, big
So-
ass battle axe.
I can give you the different axes. There is a hand axe, which is one-sided, and you can wield with one hand. And it's also light, so you can dual wield them. I can teach you how dual wielding works in this game. There is also, but that is a simple melee weapon. There's also a great axe. You can actually, no, that's too costly. Wait, let me check the hand axe. Yeah, hand axe you can make. Other than that, that's the only real axe that's open to you. There are other weapons you can do, but that's the only axe.
Let me hear some other weapons.
Okay. If
Not
you want
ranged.
not ranged. Okay, I can just go down the list if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay. So there's a club which costs very little, and it's light, so you can dual wield them. It does 1d4 bludgeoning. There are daggers, which cost a little bit more, 1d4 piercing, and then that's also dual wieldable. There are great clubs, which are two-handed and are like huge clubs that you wield like this. There's the hand axe, which does 1d6, and you can throw them as well as dual wield them. There are javelins, 1d6 piercing, light hammers, 1d4 bludgeoning. There's maces, which you can't dual wield, but what does 1d6 bludgeoning. Sickle, which does 1d4 slashing, you can dual wield, and a spear, which can be thrown and it does 1d6 piercing.
Interesting.
Keep in mind, Eli, that your horns can also do piercing damage,
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking about.
but you probably have to be pretty close.
Also,
so, did you say anything about a mace?
A mace, yes, I did say something about a mace. So that one costs 5 GP, which is in your range. It does 1d6 bludgeoning and is about 4 pounds.
Can it be dual wielded?
No, it cannot.
Oh, okay. I was thinking dual wielding maces and then having my horns as piercing.
I still feel like the axe would be the best thing.
What kind of
Here's-
damage does axe do?
Axe does 1d6 slashing and is light and can be thrown. Light just means you can dual wield them.
I'm not very interested in anything with piercing or. Wait, is piercing and slashing different?
Yes,
Yeah.
piercing and slashing is different.
Yes.
What's the difference?
Slashing is like a sword going across your body and cutting, and piercing is like making a hole like through your body.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that
Yeah, the stabby stab and the slashy slash.
is it. Do I have enough GP or whatever to make 2 axes
You do
Two-hand
not.
axes.
You do not.
No?
You can only make one for now.
for now?
You could always make another one though.
Also,
Is there-
if you do wish to go with a hand axe, you can throw it up to 20 feet or chuck it for up to 60 feet.
60 feet. Wow.
What's the difference between a throw and a chuck?
A throw is a regular
Precision, I
attack.
guess.
Yeah, it's mainly to that. Throwing is regular attack roll. Chucking is attack roll disadvantage.
Okay, so I'm guessing I just have enough right now to make 1 weapon.
Unless you'd like to do a club or a dagger or a great club, but you can't dual wield that. You could make 2 sickles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What
Sickles.
are those slashing?
Those are slashing. And they're also light, so you can dual wield them. But they only do 1d4 slashing rather than 1d6.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna
It's
make
because-
an
yeah,
axe for now, and then maybe
Yeah.
make one later.
Okay.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
And then I also just still have my horns, so I do still have 2 weapons, like very good weapons. 'Cause
So you're
I'm pretty
making-
sure.
The hand axe then?
Yes, I'm making a hand axe.
Okay, give me a second. I need to look up some stuff. Boy.
Imagine I get like a natural 1 on my hand axe making.
I think it's just you make it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but
I'm just imagining a Russian Minotaur with a hand axe running at you.
Oh my gosh, dude! And when I initiate battles, what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna try to start my battles using my horns.
All right. So the only thing
might-
is,
that
you
could
won't
count.
be proficient in the weapon unless you train it, and that just means you don't add your proficiency bonus. That's it.
Okay.
Um.
That goes for all weapons, though, right?
Yeah, that goes for all weapons. But the more you use and train with them, the more you'll be able to get a proficiency with.
Okay.
All right. So, with that, I'm gonna make you make the weapon. So first, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna have you roll a survival check with heating the metal.
6.
6. Oh,
did he
dang.
just die? Did he just die?
Yeah, you step into the fire.
You
No.
accidentally stick your hand into the heater and it explodes.
All right. As you stick the metal into the fire, you take it out a little bit too quickly, and it doesn't seem to be all completely melted down. So it's going to be harder to mold them. As you grab the molds, do you wish to just pour it in and start hammering, like as quickly as possible?
Do I have? You said like, do I have another option or?
Well, you could possibly put it in the fire again, but that will have other consequences.
Okay, then no. I just want to start hammering.
All right. So, you pour it in and make another survival check with disadvantage because there are lumps in there.
19.
With disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
No, not with
Did
this.
you roll twice?
You got to roll twice and take the
Roll
lowest
again.
roll.
7.
As you hammer away, you
Excited.
cannot get the lumps out, and they seem to be sticking out a little bit. Make another survival check for cooling the weapon.
It's just gonna get hotter somehow.
It's just 10.
10. You cool the weapon properly. You now are having it down on the sharpening area. Roll a survival check with trying to sharpen the weapon.
It's 2. Why?
Come on. Dude.
All right.
Dude,
Well,
okay.
this axe is gonna be a little different than most.
It's gonna be a hammer.
Hey, you got your mace after all.
All right. So this one's gonna be a little different. Here, let me pull it up.
It's not gonna do slashing damage. It's gonna do bludgeon damage after this.
Because it's just a big lump of metal
Bro,
on a
it's not
stick.
sharp at all. I will tell you that right now.
Maybe you could get your dad to help you make another one or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would
Oh,
disappoint Pat.
'Cause
That would
I already
disappoint Pat.
that would.
I already spent my own money on this one.
Your dad gave you 5 gold to take basically take the metal what you needed for the shop, and he paid for it.
The one good roll I had, I couldn't use because of disadvantage.
Okay, so this hand axe, make sure you write this in your equipment / weapons. Does 1d4 bludgeoning,
Oh my!
and
the axe does.
yes, the hand axe does 1d4 bludgeoning, and with the way it's made with the lumps, you can dual wield it, but you cannot throw it.
Why can't I throw it?
Because the lumps don't allow like the trajectory to go straight.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Sure. 24 bludgeoning
Hey,
axe.
Has Eli been getting paid to work in the weaponsmith?
No, he
I
has
was gonna
not.
ask. I was gonna
It's
ask that
it's
after
been-
this.
Dude, he's an unpaid intern.
yeah, basically.
Ask for a raise and then save up to just buy one.
That's what I'm thinking, bro.
Hello, Pepe. I would like a raise.
Oh, okay, you get 300% raise. Yay! Wait.
Wait, 300% of 0 is still 0, you dumbass. You
Okay.
have not slain monster, you disappoint me.
I have my axe written down in my equipment.
All right. So, you eventually make the axe, and your dad inspects it to great disappointment and says you need more training, but you will go out adventuring with it anyways.
Okay, Dad.
Good luck.
I have a question, Dad. I'm sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say.
That's
Oh,
okay.
I
Out of
remember.
character, you forgot what you're gonna say.
Yeah. I have a question, Dad. I know you just gave me 5 gold to make this axe and everything, but is there a possibility I could get a slight raise to maybe anything?
He looks at you and says, "You want to be paid for your work?"
Yes, I think as I've grown, I've done much better than I did when I was but a boy, and I want to get compensated.
He says, "Ah, my boy, don't worry, you will." And he says, "If you survive your adventure, then I will start paying you."
Really?
Yes, but if you die, I obviously won't be paying you.
Oh, well, I guess that's a deal.
Ah, deal. And he shakes your hand.
Grim would be like, counter offer.
Yeah, that's true.
Counter offer. If
As I
die,
shake his hand,
I get a less of a raise.
I try to squeeze his hand. You know, it's like a test of strength a little bit for some reason.
All right, make an athletics check. I'm also gonna roll an athletic checks for him too.
2.
Dude, you suck.
All right, and he got a 22. So as soon as you show some strength, he grabs your hand with the strength of 1,000,000 dragons and just absolutely doesn't crush your hand because he knows you're gonna have to use that to slay monsters, but he shows you your place.
I just don't say anything and walk away.
All right. As you're walking away, he
okay.
tells you that, "Oh, you better be careful. Digging Dog will surely pass you if you show your weakness like that."
Go
Okay,
home, pick the
Dad.
baby.
And the blue one egg will be even better than the other 3.
All right. So,
Out of character, how old are Dig and Doug at this point, and me?
you seem okay. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. So you were 10 by the time Doug was 3, and then that was when the other baby was born. So he would have been 1. No. He would have been like a couple months or a couple weeks old. So you now went from 10 to 13. So he's now 6, and the baby is now 3.
So, okay, I see. So he's like old. He was like as old as I was at the start of the campaign, kind of, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, this session. Okay, so he's able to talk. So, are we going home now, or are we going straight into the adventure?
Oh, you're going home. Your dad hasn't told you what you're doing with like the quote unquote adventure.
Okay. When we get home, that's premature. Let's just go on.
Okay, so you guys go home and you are all eating. Seems to be at this point with your family growing, your dad has to bring home 2 legs of meat to feed your entire family. So you're now sitting at dinner.
Okay. I look over to my 6-year-old brother, that's Doug, right? And I say, "So, Doug, how have you been so far? How are you doing?"
He looks over at you and says, "Oh, I'm doing good."
what are you doing with your life? I don't really talk to you much. I'm always at the shop.
He looks at you and says, "Oh, mommy shows me many things.
Like what?
Like I don't know."
Okay. Here, little brother. I want to show you something. I get out of my chair, stand up, and I come over here, little brother.
And he hops down and follows you.
Dude,
And
you
I
might
get
got
him.
a 7-year advantage on this kid.
I wrestle him against the ground like my dad did to me so many years ago.
All right. So,
You better
as
not lose.
Damn.
If I
If
lose,
you lose.
roll an athletics.
no, please. 13. That's fine. That's fine.
I was so
Not-
hoping for that one.
Is that
All
not
right.
fine?
So, as you wrestle him, he gives up quite the fight, and you struggle quite a bit. But
Oh.
you eventually get him a headlock where he can't move.
And then my dad's in the room, right?
Yes, he is. He's over there clapping.
I look over to my dad and I say, "Remember this, Daddy? Remember this?"
No,
He says,
that's
"Yes, my
so
son."
cringe.
And he eventually goes down and separates you two, and says, "Next time you fight, I want it to be to the death."
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Are you
shit.
serious, Daddy? Or are you just playing with me?
I'm playing. We do not kill our own. But if anyone gets in your way, or your brother turns out to be some evil monster, then yes, you may kill him.
Thank you for the permission.
Doug looks
Dad.
over at his dad and says, "If Dag is evil monster, can I kill him too?" And he looks down at you and says, "You are weak. You will not be able to kill Dag. Dag will kill you easily. Isn't that right, Dag?"
It's very, very true. I doubt he will even scrape me when he tries to kill me.
And he looks down at Doug and says, "You are idiot bull. You don't even have weapon. Here, tomorrow, come with me to the shop. I will show you around." And Doug says, "Really?" And your father turns towards him and says, "Yes, I will show you as I showed Dag long ago."
Father, isn't that my job around the shop?
"Oh, well, you might die, so I need to prepare."
Oh my! What? Why am I?
The pecking
talking
order
about
must continue.
Are you talking about our adventure, Dad?
"Oh, not my adventure. Your adventure. I found some
You're
people
not
that can
coming
go."
with me?
"No, I must workshop."
No.
Okay, Dad. I guess I'm a little scared, but I'm a Minotaur. I guess I could do it.
He looks over at you and says, "You must conquer your fears. That's the only way to survive out in the wild."
Okay. I just continue eating. I nod to him, and I continue eating my food with a scared look on my face.
All right, so he tells you tomorrow morning I'm going to have you meet a couple of adventurers I found, but don't get too close to them because out in the wild it's only you who must rely on yourself. He tells you if one of them tries to stab you in the back, you have my permission to kill them.
Okay, Dad. So, I'm still like 13. You said, right?
Yes.
I need to write that down. I keep forgetting. So-
13-year-old boy.
Telling me about these adventures. Is there any thieves? Any thieves?
Oh, don't worry. This will be an easy one for you. And he tells you, I will talk to you about it in the morning.
Okay. Good night, Father.
Good night. And don't let the Minotaur bugs bite.
Minotaur bugs.
You know these to be a folklore tale that your parents have told you about just basically mini Minotaurs that are like 1 inch tall that try to kill you in your sleep.
Oh.
Before I go to bed, do I have a closet?
You do not. No.
Okay, I look under my bed and around my bed and just everywhere around there to see if there's any Minotaur bugs.
All right. Roller perception.
They tiny Minotaurs.
Perception?
Yeah.
Okay, I need my dice roller. Hold up. I don't know why it's just going. Oh, dice. Okay, perception. 5. Let's go. Oh my god.
All right.
Let's go.
So, you look around and
Forget
you
to
don't,
open your eyes.
you don't see any Minotaur bugs.
Okay.
You don't
I
see
go to-
anything as it is pitch black.
I got to bed with a scared thought in the back of my head that Minotaur bugs are gonna eat me.
Okay. That's great. Okay. So with that, eventually, your mother and father wake you up in the morning, and they sit you down and say, there will be 2 people accompanying you on this adventure. They are here to make sure you don't die.
Tell me about these people.
Well, technically I'd only know one of them since we posted an ad like a week ago, and we only had 2 responses. So, you're kind of stuck with what you have.
Dad, I thought you asked around and get special adventure, father. I thought you went to the hardest work to get the best men for me.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry. I know one of them. One of them is a great friend. He is a friend's son. I think you will get along with him very well.
His name?
1 second, let me pull it up. His name Fist.
Fist?
Yes.
Okay. What does he do? What makes him a good adventurer?
Well, he works for local blacksmith. Even though we have competition every once in a while, I know the father, and he raised his son very well, like I raised you.
Okay, interesting. And what about this other mysterious person?
Well, I haven't met him yet. I invited him over just to kind of see. Although you're kind of stuck with him if he's a bit of a weirdo.
Well, if he's enough of a weirdo, I'll take care of him.
Yes. And eventually you hear a knock on the door. And your mother opens it, and it seems to be a human with a shaved head, and basically no hair on him. And he seems to be huge, like hulking. He seems to be about your age, and he has one unibrow. He says, "Oh, Fist, finally, you are here." And he looks over at your father and says, "Fist, here." And he says, "This is my son." And Fist looks over at you and starts stomping your way. He puts out his hand.
Really shake his hand and do a little strength thing like I did with my dad.
All right, so make an athletics.
No.
Keep
This is
putting
gonna-
yourself in these positions.
12. That's
Don't probably. You'll
That's
Um,
invest.
great.
As he shakes your hand, he is pretty much like, he's not at the level of your father at all, but he is much stronger than you.
Well, as I take my hand away from him and kind of sway it because it hurts a little bit, I say, "Nice eyebrow."
He says, "My mommy like," wait, sorry, I'm trying to not to be Russian. "My mom like eyebrows."
Eyebrows? I only see one on your face.
And he kind of touches his forehead and looks confused for a moment. Says, "Eyebrow?" And
Yes, big bar on your head. Big bar.
and your father looks over at you and says, "Okay, son, maybe don't talk about his little deformity." Anyways, so you two will be great friends. So you will be heading out tomorrow, and I found a little quest for you. He brings out a parchment paper and hands it to both of you, and it seems to be a rambling letter about how there is a cult of cannibals over on the right side of the city, and they are eating people and killing people whoever leaves. So he says, should be easy adventure for both of you and whoever the third person is. Let me know if you need any help or if you are too chicken to do it, because I can find harder adventure for you. And Fist looks over at your dad and says, "Fist, kill cannibals."
And I look over to Fist and I say, So tell me, Fist, how are you, what do you do on a normal basis?
He looks down at his hands, and his hands are shaking, and says, Fist, kill small animals.
Oh, so you're a hunter. You kill the animals and eat the animals.
No, just
Oh.
kill.
Well, what do you do after you kill these things?
Collect them.
And?
Put them in my bed.
Why do you put them in your bed?
And your dad looks over at you, and that is too many questions for today. So, let's keep this adventure
Oh.
silent. How about
Oh.
you don't ask him any more questions about his weirdo animal fetish, okay?
We got a necrophile.
Okay, father, I guess you hear what he did to animals, though.
He looks over at you and says, and whispers in your ear, he says, all right, I might have lied to you a little bit. His dad is also kind of a weirdo.
What the? Okay, I
All
guess
right.
I just don't really say anything.
So, eventually you hear another knock on the door. It goes, knock, 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 knock. And, it seems very hearty. And, he says, oh, that must be other adventurer. Let me pull him up. Let him pull up his sheet. All right, so, and as he opens up the door, you see on the other side is a very fair-looking young boy. He seems to be about your age with long brown hair and seeming to have a lute on his back. And he swings it over and starts playing a little ditty. And he says, hello!
What is this music man doing?
He says, looks over at you and says, I don't know. Oh, hello! Are you Michael? And he says, yes, I am. And he says, I have been trained as a bard, and I will help you on adventures. And
Lord.
he looks over at you and looks over at him and says, are you really Michael? And he says, yeah, sorry, is there something wrong? And your dad kind of puts his arm on your shoulder and whispers in your ear, if he tries to touch you, kill him.
Okay. Okay, I look forward, reassured on what my dad just said.
He says, all right, well, it seems like all three of you will get along. Just go out and kill all the cannibals and be back by, let's say, a week from now, okay?
Sounds good, Daddy. I miss you when I'm gone.
Michael looks over and says, wait, did you just say cannibals?
Me?
He looks over at your dad and he says, yes, is there something wrong? And he says, I thought we were just going on a lighthearted adventure. This is my first time. And he says, well, that's what I did when I was your age. And Michael kind of looks at the ground, sullen. And Fist looks over at him and says, I kill Bard if you get in way. And he kind of looks over at Fist and, like, doesn't say anything. So, your dad looks down at you and says, all right, son, I know this is a lot of pressure, but you need to do this for the family.
Okay, I'm a little freaked out over this Fist kid. I'm kind of an animal too, Dad.
He looks over at you and says, oh, you'll be fine. Just remember, if they do turn on you, just kill them. It's quite that simple.
Okay, Father. I will miss you when I'm gone.
All right. Well, hopefully you don't die. See you.
Goodbye, Father.
Goodbye, son. And, do the three of you just head out?
Yeah, I just head out, kind of trying to not make eye contact with them, kind of weirded out at one, because that guy likes animals a lot, and the other guy's just a bard, and, it's kind of weird. So, I just try not to make eye contact and avoid making conversation while I walk with them.
All right. Fist seems to be staring off into nothing, and his head seems to be pretty empty. Meanwhile, Michael, the bard, is kind of looking down at the ground, thinking about like what he got himself into. And you guys head over towards the east. And also, before you left, your dad gave you a map. So make sure you write down map of Nabia. And if you'd like to see the map, I can pull it up for you if you'd like.
Sure.
All right. Uh-oh, this is the wrong map. Give me a second. Sorry about this. All right, this is Nabia.
I think it disappeared. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yes, and you guys are going towards the actually, sorry, did I say east? I meant west. West downward.
West downward?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, there's a little bit of stream delay.
Okay. It's like you're taking the Egg Chapel exit.
Oh, okay. And where were we? I never really figured out.
You guys live in Wickham's Way.
Wickham's Way, Wickham's Way. Okay. Just in that general area? Or...
Yep, in that general area.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
All right, so with that, I think now is a great time to take a little break. Are you guys all right with that?
I'm down.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for the second part of, what are we calling this again?
The Minotaur Memoirs.
Yes, Minotaur Memoirs. Thank you all for being here for this long. Make sure you stay tuned for the ending. See ya. All right, and we're back. So, is there anything you'd like to tell the audience before we start? Any opinions?
I am very, 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 very disappointed in how my dice rolls have been.
Yeah.
Because I have expected my character to, a big trait of him would be his, strength and his constitution, and he's a Minotaur, and he would have pride in that. But so far, I can't even squeeze a human's hand and it would hurt. So, yeah, I'm very disappointed in these dice rolls, but I hope it gets better.
Me too. Anything from the commentators?
That's,
The pecking order is very hilarious to me.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm also just excited about this adventure he's about to go on. And will we see the first death in the series?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I feel like 13 going into a cannibal cult. Yikes.
So, any any comparisons from this to Magic School?
Cool.
If Magic School was full of cannibals and
Yes.
sex addicts, maybe.
Yes.
Well, I still hasn't watched my campaign.
Which I mean, we don't know that yet.
Also, do we have anyone in the chat saying anything?
Me and Davis
Yeah,
have been
there's no
talking, and then Tyler got on, and he was talking about how bad the rolls are.
Yeah.
And Ben's in there too.
Okay. Well, with that, I think we can continue. Eventually, you guys get to the edge of the city, and you start walking out into forests. Eventually, Michael turns towards you and says, sorry, I don't believe that we've been properly introduced. My name's Michael.
My name is Dag. You saw my father. He's very Brutus man, and I hope to father after him. How about your father? Do you know your father?
Yes, he's a local bard for the tavern.
Bard, eh? So do bards make a lot of cha-ching, lot of gold, silver?
I'm not sure. My parents don't really talk to me about money all that much, but I do my best, and, my father wanted me to be, a little bit more out there, so he sent me on this quest with you and him.
See, under the impression that you would be killing multiple cannibals in the camp.
I guess. I didn't know that's what we were doing. I don't think my dad knew either. I don't think he'd be sending me on this quest if he knew that we were killing people.
Well, if you have any second thoughts, I assure you, you can go back now.
He pulls out what seems to be a dagger and says, well, he did give me this, so I'll be able to defend myself. And Fist looks over and says, puny dagger. Fist has fist.
I look over in Fist and I say, what's up with you? You seem like a meathead.
Meathead? I eat meat.
Like you only have meat in the brain. No brain, only fat in the head.
He looks over at you and says, what brain?
Exactly, you're proving my point by just talking.
Are you saying Fist dumb?
And don't get all riled up, it was only a joke.
Make a persuasion check.
No, so the luck's a bit better.
Natural 20.
He looks down
Well,
at the
there goes
ground.
all the luck for the fight.
He looks down at the
Yeah.
ground and says, meat. Good.
With
Fist
this,
like
you probably
meat.
could have got away with like a 9 or something.
True. So I turn back over to the bard and I say, so do you have your lute with you?
Yes, I enjoy playing music. I'm training to be a bard, but I'm not an official one yet. For now, I just use a dagger.
Yes, play me a little song, why don't you?
Oh, sure, I'd love to. And he sings you a song about 3 adventurers going off on their way. One is a barbarian, one is a fighter, and one is a bard who is fairer than the rest. And he sings about how they all slayed the evil creatures of the land, and how they succeeded and brought back many things for their fathers.
Sounds a lot like this adventure, boy.
Well, that's the point.
Oh, uplifting, I see. Well, Although I love your charismatic singing, I sounds like kind of a basic song.
He looks at you and says, "Well, I did just make it up. Sorry."
Oh, no worries, no worries. I thought that was a. Oh, my boy. I mean no offense. I was once again only joking.
Make a persuasion check.
I don't want this guy to kill me.
I love how you're
2.
calling him my boy, but you're the same age.
Yeah.
You got a
hoping he
2?
notices it. Yep.
He's taking out his like being seen as lesser from his father and other people.
He puts away his loot and says, "Well, if it was that bad, I won't play anything for you ever again."
No, please. Your singing was very good, very good. I enjoy your company, my sir. Right.
He says that he doesn't have any more songs for today.
I go over to his ear and I whisper in his ear, unlike this fist man, he seems very out of touch with reality.
He looks over at you and kind of shakes his head and says, "Well, to each his own. Anyways, what are you wishing to do with your wife?"
My life, I guess I haven't really thunk about the big picture. I don't know. I so far I've just been devoting my time to the blacksmith shop and impressing my father. But how about when I'm older? I don't know. Maybe adventure, find a wife, make 1,000 children. Who knows?
Well, if you were asking me, I want to be a successful bard and I want to find happiness. I don't think my father found it in his journeys, and I don't believe my mother found it. I will be the first in my family.
Your mother. Tell me about her.
Well, she's a tavern keep. She runs a lot of the business there, and she serves food.
Ah, that sounds like a good little source of income.
Yes, but they are quite strict, and I don't get to spend much time with them, especially with the baby on the way.
The baby, you have a baby brother, I see.
Well, I'm not sure if it would be a brother or sister, but I understand your point.
It's always a brother, my boy.
He kind of smiles and says, "Well, that would be nice."
Yes, a little brother for you to pick on, maybe, if you...
Oh, no, I would never.
No, you wouldn't.
No, of course not. Why would I do that?
Because they're... I guess I don't really know. I just assumed that little brothers were made for picking on. Made for pushing around a little bit.
Oh, no. I would love him.
Oh, you can love a brother and pick on him, boy.
I guess. It's just, I don't think I'm suited for that kind of lifestyle.
Hey, to each his own, my boy.
Alright. So,
Saying that a lot.
as you continue heading forward, you eventually get into the darker areas of the wilderness, and eventually the sun starts setting, and Michael looks over at you and says, "Maybe we should set up camp here."
I suppose that sounds like a fair idea. What time is it, you said?
You don't know the exact time, but it seems to be getting dark, like sunset.
Quick out of game question: do Minotaurs have dark vision?
I don't think so, unless it says otherwise.
I read somewhere that they had like infrared or something, but I don't know if that's.
Well, if you'd like, I can look it up for you.
Sure.
All right.
Seems like a pretty big thing if we're gonna be going into like dark areas.
Well, also make sure you write that stuff down on your character sheet. So.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what Minotaurs have. Where the heck are Minotaurs? Oh, there it is. So, did you not write down your Minotaur stuff?
I wrote down like pretty much the only thing that I saw was bullhorns, but on an extra like another website where someone was just talking about when they played a Minotaur, they said they had dark vision. So I don't know if that was homebrewed or not.
Let me give you this. Okay, so your strength increases by 2, your constitution increases by 1. Did you already have that or no?
Yes, I already had all the stuff down.
Walking speed is 30. So your horns, you said you already have your horn attack, right?
Yes.
Okay. You also have Goring Rush. Immediately after you use the dash action on your turn, move to at least 20 feet. You can make one melee attack with your horns as a bonus action rather than an action.
Yes. Me and Cameron looked at that sheet
Okay.
with all the Goring Rush and the thing where you can run back and charge people.
Okay. So you also have Imposing Presence. You have proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: Intimidation or Persuasion.
Yeah, and then I chose Intimidation as my proficiency.
Okay, then you have everything.
Okay, so I must have been reading something homebrewed then.
Probably. All right. So with that, Michael looks over at you two and says, "Well, we should probably gather some sticks to make a fire for the night."
Okay, are you going to do that, or do you want me to do that?
Well, here, I'll start making the pit for the fire, and you two can go gather some sticks.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, where do you want to set up camp?
Do I know what's my area?
The main options are either you can make camp on the road, make camp off of the road just a little bit, or go into the wilderness and make camp.
Okay, I want to be just off the road.
All right. So it makes it pretty easy to get back on the road and out into the wilderness. So are you going to look for sticks and stuff with Fist?
Yes.
All right. So eventually you walk out into the wilderness and try to make a perception check.
Okay. Oh no, this is gonna be bad, isn't it? 19.
Oh, you find many sticks along with Dag, and you seem to have enough for a fire at this point.
Okay. While we're looking for sticks, I look over to Fist and I say, "So, we've talked about our fathers, Fist. Tell me about your mother."
Mom, no longer here.
Oh, is she all right?
Mom die.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to open any closed wounds, my boy.
He looks down at his hands and says, "Mommy like animals."
Yes. Oh.
He looks over at you
I-
and says, "Are you animal?"
I think I'm partly animal, but I'm not a creature.
He starts petting your fur.
Please
Oh
get your
no.
please get your hands off of me.
He looks down and says, "Mommy gone." And he starts crying.
Let me I pat his back with my hands and I say it'll be okay. I'm sure your mommy loves you very much.
Mommy would want me animal. And he starts petting your fur again.
Although I don't like this, I kind of just let him do it because he's crying right now.
All right. So it takes a few minutes for him to compose himself, and eventually he starts picking up some sticks again.
Okay. I asked him, "Did you find anything good, Fist?"
Stick.
Very, very nice, my boy.
And he shows you a very large stick he picked up.
Oh, that'll burn for hours. Amazing. Let's go back to camp.
Stick. And he starts walking with you.
Put my hand over my mouth to try to conceal my laughter.
I love it. So eventually when you head back, you see that Michael has built a pit for the fire so it won't spread to the forest. You guys put the sticks down, and now he asks, "All right, well, do any of you know how to start a fire?"
Wait, do I know how to start a fire?
You know your dad starts fires with charcoal a lot. And, like, matches.
Okay, well... Apart from, like, that, is there, like, any checks I can do to try to make a fire, or no?
I'm gonna... Well, what tools are you using to try to make a fire? Are you, like, trying to rub sticks together? Are you, like, hitting rocks together to try to make a spark?
I'll try to... Can I look around to see if there's any, like, flint material, kind of?
Make a, Is nature check investigation? Or intelligence?
Nature, that's intelligence.
Make a nature check.
Okay. 17.
17, alright. So, with that, you do find some rocks that might be a little bit what you need, but you aren't sure because it's getting dark.
Yeah. I take the rocks and try to hit them against each other towards the fire, so the sparks may catch fire to the wood.
All right, make a survival check.
Come on, Eli. You can't be the first death on your first session.
2, let's go!
Oh!
With
No.
that, you try for about an hour. You don't get any sparks, and eventually it starts
An
getting.
hour of just hitting around.
It eventually starts getting very cold, and it's now dark out. And Michael looks over at you and says, "Have any better ideas?" And Fist says, "Fist cold."
Oh.
So are the only things I have in my equipment just like the axe and the map? Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, because I was thinking if I had like a blanket, I could give it to him. Since
Well,
I have
you do
fur.
have commoner's clothes, but that's it.
Yeah, would his fur help him in this cold?
Yeah, a little bit, but not that much, because half of your
Oh.
body is not fur.
Oh, really?
Isn't that how Minotaurs work?
I suppose I just didn't think about it that way.
Wait a minute, let me look this up actually, because this is
I
important.
didn't know if D&D Minotaurs are like completely furry or they're just like humanoid bulls or if they're
Okay.
like just bare on the bottom.
Actually, they are humanoid bulls, so you would have hair a lot. So
Oh, interesting. So
He just
one
unaffected.
boy.
no, he's still affected because it's cold out, but he's less affected.
okay, how cold is it outside? If you don't mind me asking.
You have no way of telling, so it's cold.
No,
That's...
not like degrees. I just mean like, do I like? Is it like dangerously cold or?
No, not dangerously cold, but uncomfortably cold.
Okay. So, what to do? I guess I could try to do the old stick spinny thing.
All right.
If you know what I'm
Well,
talking about.
make a
Stick
survival check.
Cross my fingers, hope to die.
No,
Roll my
wait. Don't want no dying here.
Very poor choice of
5.
word.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
dude.
you try for another
You
hour, it doesn't
suck.
work.
Hopes are true.
Michael looks over at you and says, "Hey, it's getting really cold. Maybe we should huddle together and make some warmth."
Uh,
Stick a horn in your eye. I just said stick a horn in your eye. What is his axe made out of?
It seems to be made out of iron.
Okay,
that
so
Don't want to break your axe.
is every time I try to do something, does it have to be an hour?
Unless it succeeds, yes.
Okay, I say you guys huddle together, go into bed. I'll continue trying to make this fire.
Remember, you don't
Um,
want to be too exhausted for the next day.
I didn't think about that. I'm gonna try one more time.
All right.
And
So,
if it doesn't work,
with what method? Because I'm not gonna allow the same ones before.
let's see here.
Strike a rock against your axe.
I
Maybe.
could.
But that might be too similar. I don't know.
No, I'd allow that if you're using your axe instead of rocks.
I'm down to try to use my metal axe and then like a normal rock.
All right, make a survival check.
Come on.
This doesn't work. We're huddling together and sleeping.
Yeah.
4, dude.
All right.
Oh,
Gosh.
So, you do not make it, and now it is like midnight to about 1 in the morning, and you guys are like very, very cold. It's more than uncomfortably cold at this point, and Michael is shivering in his clothes.
I'm also shivering.
Yes, you are also shivering.
Dude, come on. Oh, man.
dude, why do you have to suck so much?
I guess we could just try to like get close together and huddle up for the night. I don't really know anything else we can do.
All right. So,
Wait. Before I do that.
Yeah.
I asked Fist. Fist, is there anything you have to start the fire? Anything at all?
he looks down on the ground and says, Me no think so. And he empties his pockets and seems to have some parchment paper and a pen and some matches.
Yes, matches?
It seems like it.
Well, can we attempt to use those matches to start a fire?
Yeah, you start a fire with a match.
Okay, we start a fire with the match.
All right. So congratulations, you now have a fire. And Fist looks
Don't
very
think so.
confused. He asks you how you make fire.
I used our matches that you had all 3 hours we were trying to make a fire.
Michael looks over and says, ugh, such idiots. And he kind of gets really close to the fire and like tries to go to sleep.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just so... I look kind of angry and like frustrated, but I try to conceal it because I don't want to get Fist mad at me because he does seem kind of strong and I don't want to offend him.
So make a deception check.
Six.
He looks over at you and says, Fluffy mad at Fist?
I'm not mad at you. I'm just we tried for 3 hours to get the fire and you had matches the whole time.
Fist, sorry.
No, you're okay. Let's just sleep now that we have a fire. We should be thankful that you had matches.
Fluffy go sleep?
Fluffy, go sleep.
Uh-oh.
I
He's
will
gonna try to
watch
kill you in your
Fluffy.
sleep.
That's okay. I'll kill him if he tries to touch me. That was out of game. I didn't say that. Okay, I try to go to sleep. I let them go closer to the fire since I have fur, but I still try to hover near it.
All right, cool. So make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh? 18.
Oh,
Nice.
you fall asleep quite easily.
Finally.
After finally getting the warmth that you needed, you fall asleep on the leaves, and you don't receive anything that is penalty-wise. And what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 8.
All right. So, eventually, throughout the night, you eventually wake up to a noise. It seems to be rustling in one of the bushes near you.
Does someone want to check that out?
And as you look around, Michael is fast asleep, and Fist seems to be gone.
Peace. Where did that little boy go?
Little
I-
boy.
So he's gone. I slowly No, this is dangerous. I'm scared. I holler out to the
Never
bush.
will.
I say, Beast, is that you, my boy?
The rustling stops, and you can see something in the forest run away.
Beast? I yell, Beast, do you want to pet Fluffy's head one more time?
Michael eventually wakes up and says, "What are you talking about?"
He seems to be gone. He's nowhere to be found.
Oh no. Do you think one of the cannibals got him?
There's no way of knowing.
What do we do?
I don't know. I seeing things running around in the forest. Let's just stick together, okay?
Yeah, please, don't leave.
No worries. Okay, so is there like a certain way that's to the cannibal camp?
You just know it's to the east, or to the west. Your dad said, it's also written on the parchment paper, people have just been gone missing, and someone needs to go find the camp and, like, go kill them.
Okay, does it say on the map how many there are?
Nope, they have no idea.
Yikes.
Yikers.
I just try as loud as possible to scream out, Beast! Please, where are you being?
And eventually, you see shuffling over in the darkness, and someone seems to be approaching.
Who's there? And I pull out my weapon.
He continues to approach.
I kind of like, you know how bulls sometimes go like breathe really loud, like when they're like trying to intimidate someone.
Yeah.
I go like that and hold the weapon up a little bit.
All right, make an intimidation check.
Remember, you have proficiency in this.
Natural 20.
Oh my gosh.
So do I have
You
to
don't
do
have
a...
to add anything.
Okay, so
Um,
just
Good.
natural.
Natural 20s are better than anything else.
Yeah, don't even worry about it, man. As you sort of hold your ground and make yourself as big looking as possible, Michael stands behind you, holding your shoulders, kind of creeping like behind you, like looking over into the darkness. And the creature in the darkness stops in his tracks, and he eventually hunches down a little bit, and you hear out in the darkness, and you see him start running away in the opposite direction.
Do I see what it is?
No, it seems to be in the darkness still.
Oh, okay, sorry. Instead of approaching it, I kind of just... I don't want to approach anything dangerous. I just want to try to find Fist a little bit,
Okay.
and then... Yeah, so that's kind of my primary objective at the moment.
All right. Michael looks over at you and says, "Shouldn't we stay by the fire where we can at least see?"
Boy, I just... Fist is a big man, and he could really help us on our journey. Do you agree?
Yeah, I guess. I just don't want to die, man.
Can you make a torch or something?
Can I see the sun at all?
No, it's still like it seems to be like 5, 6 in the morning.
Okay, What is the required things to make a torch?
Well, usually some charcoal, using like some cloth as wrapping and a stick, but you have with you some clothes that could be made with the cloth and sticks. You don't really have any charcoal.
Okay. I'm not very interested in making a torch. Let's just huddle down by the fire for now and stay safe. And if anything comes near us, get your dagger ready, boy.
Sure, yeah. And as you guys stay there for a little bit longer, eventually you hear some noises coming from the wilderness. Sometimes it's just a little thing like an owl here or there, but then you realize maybe those aren't actually creatures or animals. You realize that they're a little off from what you remember, and they seem to be coming from all around. Eventually, Michael starts getting really freaked out and he starts shaking.
How far away are we from the from the main town?
You seem to be about 3 miles.
3 miles. Yikes. So not enough things to make a torch, and I don't see the sun, right?
You do not. Fire still
So-
seems to be pretty good, though.
I whisper, this is going to be a risky move. I whisper in Michael's ear and go, boy, what we're going to do is we are going to get our weapons out and back up so they're not surrounding us on the path. Do you hear me clearly?
Yeah, okay, sure.
I need you, listen to me. I need you to be my eyes where I cannot see.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 12.
All right. He seems to nod his head.
Okay. If you see something, do not scream, because things around these parts, cannibals, the weird people, the creatures get very aggressive when you scream. So do not scream. Just warn me, and we will back up faster. We are not
yeah.
here to attack. We are here to get safe.
Yeah, okay, sure. And he pulls out his dagger.
Let's slowly go on the trail and back up, like I said.
All right. So as you slowly back up towards the trail, you eventually see Michael sees. He says, "There's something in the trail. There's people. They're coming towards us."
Can I look over to the people and what do I see?
You look over there and you see shadows of like figures.
Do they seem to be walking any weird way?
They seem to be almost. The best way to describe them is like they're making a slow walk, almost like a creep over towards you guys from the road.
Okay. We approach them like slowly, and the closer, if we ever get like close to them to where we can see, you know what? Ignore that. Just go closer to them. Walk closer to them slowly.
Okay, and as you do, as you keep your eye on them, you see that there are multiple, almost bald people with something like a backpack with sticks on them. You see that they're covered in what seem to be blood, and they are naked, and they are looking at you.
There are cannibals in front of us. I don't know if they are cannibals, but they seem very cannibal-y.
One of them looks over at you and says, "Wow, wow, wow."
Do they look like humans?
Yeah, they look like humans.
Okay, this is gonna be very dangerous, but I'm gonna attempt it. I holler out to them and I go, "Hello! Are you
Yellow?
are you friendly?"
Make a persuasion check.
13.
All right. So as you say that, one sort of larger person comes towards you and is holding two large sticks, and he hands it to a couple of his friends, and they all start surrounding you and closing in.
What are you guys doing?
Oh.
Michael looks over at you, and both of you make a wisdom saving throw.
11.
All right. Even though you're scared, you still stand your ground. But Michael looks over at you and says, "I'm sorry, I just want to live." And he like starts sprinting to try to run away. And as he does, he escapes the cannibal circle, and a couple of them start screeching like monkeys and start running towards him. And one of the long sticks goes with them. And half of the cannibals surround you.
If the cannibals surround me.
Yeah, there seems to be about 10.
10. Okay. I forget Michael quickly because he just lured a lot of them away from me. GG. Love you, Michael.
GG.
And I go, guys, what do you need? What do you want?
I don't think they're gonna answer that one.
So they slowly approach you, and one goes and talks to the other and says, "Hojabo!" And the one approaches you slowly, and he does not seem to have a stick in his hand, and he seems to be about 10 feet away from you, and he's closing in.
Oh, I just realized something.
Okay, so if he doesn't have a weapon in his hand, I kind of don't. No one's touching me, right? They're just kind of around me.
Yeah, well, they're all about 20 feet away from you, closing in, and then this guy seems to be approaching at 10 feet.
Okay. I tell them I hold my weapon up, kind of like how I was before when I intimidated that little animal, but I say, I do not come to harm you. You could see by me holding my weapon up, I am not here to harm you. Just tell me what you want and I'll be on my way.
Dude, they don't speak
Bad
common.
decision.
All right,
I know, this is just what my guy's gonna do.
with that, the one that's approaching you eventually gets within 5 feet, and he slowly raises his hand up to your shirt, and he seems to be trying to unbutton it.
Oh no.
You want my clothing, because you're naked.
No.
I take off my shirt and I give him the shirt.
All right.
I'm gonna die.
he slowly starts reaching towards your belt buckle.
Okay.
Oh no. I've seen this porn before.
I don't think I have an option but to give them my clothes
You
because
could
I don't know.
smack him.
No, I think there's too many to do that.
There's 10 of them. I can only bull rush a few people. I guess I give them my clothes.
All right, and as you take off your clothes, all of them start slowly coming in, and they study your figure. They look up and down at your hooves and your horns and your fur, and a couple of them say "Honyaba," and the others sort of screech in response. And eventually, they look over towards where they came and start walking away, leaving your clothes on the ground.
Okay, I knew they weren't. This is why I've been so confident out of game, Cameron and Davis. I knew they weren't gonna want me because they're human cannibals,
Yeah.
and I'm
that's what I was
furry.
thinking. That's what I was thinking.
So I'm just trying to kind of not work with them, but be calm. Because if I would have bull rushed them, they would have gotten their sticks and killed me.
Right.
So,
Stick.
I guess I, kind of just conceal my breath and let them walk away and don't really do anything else. I'm just kind of standing still on the road.
All right, so
Putting clothes back on might be smart.
eventually they all fade into shadows, and you're left alone by the fire.
Put my clothes back on, because they didn't take my clothes, right?
No, they did not.
I put my clothes back on, and you said I'm 3 miles away from the city?
Yeah.
No.
You don't want to disappoint Pappy.
Do you wanna try to go find Michael, or do you?
I legitimately. He's dead. He's a human. I legitimately do not care right now at this point about like making my dad happy or finding Michael or Fist. I just want to live.
All right.
So
So what do you want to do?
Disappoint
where's the
Pappy.
moon at this point? Dude, does my guy know like times based on the moon?
You would know a little bit since you didn't really have formal training in school. You would know just like the lower it gets, the earlier like it is to sunrise, and it's pretty low in the sky.
Okay. So am I like, since I slept a little bit, I took a really good 18 roll nap. Am I well rested?
No, you're not. You have not taken a
Oh.
rest yet fully.
Okay. Is the fire still lit?
The fire's still lit, yes.
I sit by the fire, but don't immediately try to sleep. I just kind of wait till I doze off.
All right. So, as you slowly like start going down, your adrenaline starts lowering, and eventually you fall asleep. You eventually wake up in the morning to seemingly one of the people next to you sitting down, looking at you.
I look over at him and I just go, hello? Do you need something from me?
He gets on all fours and seems to pull out something from a little sack that he's carrying. It seems to be two things. It seems to be an ear and also a tongue, and he gives it to you.
Oh, how nice. Who happen those to be?
He also reaches in his stack and pulls out two heads, one of Michael and one of Fist.
Oh, okay. I see. Very good, very good.
Very good.
I like motion like eating. Did you eat them to death?
He looks over at you and says, "Wow, wow, wow, wow."
Ah, I see. So they can't understand me. I don't know what I'm wasting my time on. Well, you can have. I pointed like I'm using like big hand movements to try to describe what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Because at this point, I see they can't understand me. I pointed to fire. You, and I rub my hands together. You can warm up here. I'll be on my way. Thank you for showing me the heads.
All right.
Very
Well,
nice.
as soon as you start heading out, he pounces over on where you were trying to head, and he says,
Oh, I'm very sorry. I did not mean to offend you. What do you need?
He grabs your hand and starts leading you towards the forest, deeper in.
all right. No, thank you. I don't harshly resist, but I kind of try to move the other way a little bit.
Make an intimidation check.
3.
3? Oh, dang. He goes, wow,
You don't
wow,
care.
wow, wow. And 2 more come in from the forest and start coming towards you. And they all are on their 4s. And they all grab your hands and like slowly start leading you towards the forest.
This is your life now.
Yeah, this is pretty much. I think I'm dead. I'm not gonna lie. So I go, okay. I see you for a little bit, but if this gets crazy, I will leave. You'll hear me?
And one of them nods their heads.
Ah, you understand me, boy.
And as he does, he actually looks at your hand for a moment and realizing it's like a little bit bigger than he expected, he puts one of your fingers in his mouth and starts sucking it.
Oh, very peculiar.
The other 2 look at him and like slap his face, and they go wow, and the other gets his finger out of his mouth, and he starts leading you again.
I don't wipe my finger off because I don't know if that'll offend them. So I just
Okay.
I keep going, and okay. What I do is I keep itching myself.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm not actually itching, but I keep itching myself as to point at my fur.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I got it. So do you just be led by these cannibals?
Yes, and unless they do something aggressive, if they're just walking, I'll try to obey them for now.
All right. So eventually, they lead you back into the forest, and you come to a clearing after a long while of walking. You come to a place where it looks like a camp of a lot of these people. All of them are human and naked. And there seems to be a large bonfire in the middle and a large throne-like chair made out of bones and someone sitting on it. And the other about 20 to 30 so people all standing around sort of talking to each other. And also over to the right, you see an animal pen.
Mikasa.
Okay. I have a question. How big am I?
You seem to be about 6 foot at this point.
Ah, and I'm 13. How good. I know what they're gonna do. I'm starting to brew a plan in my mind. I asked the one that nodded to me earlier. I say, well, I don't ask. I just say, you have a very nice abode here. A very nice, place to lay, a place to sleep, home, friends, family. What are you doing with me?
He looks over at you and takes a poop on the ground.
Oh.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice form.
Nice form. I very appreciate it.
He looks up at you and nods again.
Okay, I continue walking with them.
All right, they eventually lead you to the campfire where they kind of circle up around you, and the one man, almost like with black hair and red face paint all over him, eventually steps down off of the throne, and he looks at all of you and says, "Wait, why did you bring him here?" And they all look at him and they say, "Wow!" And he looks at you and says, "What's your name?"
My name is Dag. I come from Nabia. I am the son of a great weaponsmith there, and I was just along this trail adventuring with some of my friends, and it's just, these guys started surrounding me, so I wanted to see where they would lead me, because they seemed very nice, but I did not want to hurt them or scare them.
Well, it seems like my people think you're an animal, so I guess that's your life now.
No, easy to mistake. I am an animal. I am a Minotaur. We are people who are half animal, you see, but we are just as sentient and lively and
like a human.
Like a human, very much like a
and
human.
he looks over at his people and says, "Wow, wow, wow, wow," And all of them start licking their lips.
No, but not the human. I am still a bull, still an animal.
Wait,
still
so are
an animal.
you a bull or are you a human?
More bull than human. I am, I am more bull, much more animal than I am human, much more.
Well, that's a shame. And he says to his people, "Wow, wow," and they all kind of go, "Whoa."
I'm very sorry to disappoint you, my sir. It's just I can't change how I was raised. I do not want to offend or anything, but I'm just an animal, just a, no, not much human to be here, not much human.
Well,
Can't you
actually,
see, my
that's
sir?
kind of a good thing for me. You don't really get much conversation around here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I mean, here, let me show you your new house. And he sort of shoos them off, and he walks towards the animal pens with you.
Oh, very, very. I still know in my brain that he's treating me like an animal, but I tried to seem unaware. So I go, very nice, sir. Very nice. This is a very nice home you have here. Very nice pen.
Yeah,
home.
if there's any grass you would need, we can extend your pen. There's also lots of calves here that are very supple.
Oh, cows. Yes, I see. I've met very many calves in my day.
Yes, well, I should ask, since you're an animal with slight intelligence, how smart are you?
Not very smart. Like a normal human would be way more smart than I would, but
Make a
I
deception
have
check.
A what?
A deception check.
15.
Wow, okay. Ha ha ha. Papa boy. He looks at you and says, and opens the gate and says, well, I mean, that's probably good. Too many humans try to meddle with my plans, but with an animal, I can talk with them. And he sits down on the grass with you. Do you wish to sit with him on the other side of the pen?
I will follow whatever. Yes, I wish to sit with him. I'll be very neutral right now.
All right. So as you sit, he tells you, what's a dumb animal like you doing with humans?
Honestly, I don't really know how I know how I got here. I was just kind of bored at, walking around all the time being such an animal. So I decided to go on what humans call an adventure. I don't know. I get that it was stupid to get caught up in and
Yeah, I understand. I'm actually in a very similar situation. I was, I don't know, I wasn't that smart growing up, but I always loved animals. And he points over at the animals in the pen and says, they're so peaceful and fragile, but humans, they mess it all up. And he starts petting one of the cows that walked up to him and feeds him some grass. And he says, they're just so innocent. Humans, we've gotten too far on the evolution line. We just need a reset. And he says, that's why I learned in magic. And he says, I'm actually, hard to believe it, but a great, powerful wizard. He sort of puts up his hand, and you can see it's almost dark purple, like it's necrotic. And he says, it took a little bit, but I eventually made a pact with some extra beings, and I gained the power to control people's minds, to reset those who got too far on the evolution line. Understand?
Very interesting. Very interesting. I understand very well.
See, all I did was turn in the humans into people like you.
Oh well. I think that's a very interesting. You said magic?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of it?
Out of character. Have I ever heard of magic?
No, you have not.
I have never heard of this art before. What does it? Tell me about this magic.
The easiest way I can describe it is like, there's a power in me that I send out to them to basically change their minds into animals like you.
Do I know what religion is?
You do know what religion is, although your parents aren't religious.
Oh, kind of like a religion and the gods and demons.
Oh, yes, it's a lot like that, except it's a little bit different. Usually, things like clerics. Do you know what a cleric is?
Do I know what a cleric is?
No, you don't.
No, not but although it sounds familiar.
Well, here, it's a little different. And he draws on the ground, and he, like, makes a circle and puts the word God in it. And he says, God's power go into humans. And he draws a line. And then humans can do it with it whatever they want. But mine was different, and he draws a circle below the humans. And he says, I made a pact with something else. And as he draws the line, he severs the connection. He says, as soon as you make the pact, you are cursed for life. And the origin of my power no longer comes from the extraplanar being. It comes from me. I am my own god. And I control others. Makes sense?
Yes, I believe I'm starting to catch on what you're trying to say. So, you made a pact, which is kind of like a deal, or a curse in some words, and now you have the power of the source, or the god.
Yes, of course. And without me, my people wouldn't be able to survive.
Well, I guess they should be grateful for your presence.
Yes, of course. And you should be too. I mean, think about it. Without a world without humans would be paradise for you and your calves.
Yeah, it would be cool, but I guess having a little bit of diversity, like, it keeps things interesting, although not all the time good.
All right, make a persuasion check.
Dude, is Eli just gonna talk down the cannibals? That's gonna be awesome.
14.
He looks at you and says, are you saying the humans are good?
Most humans I have very harsh experience with. They seem to, like you said earlier, I agree with you, muck everything up. But I guess now that you mention it, I've never really seen a human who has done anything good.
Yes, that is correct. All humans have an innate evil in them, including myself.
You seem very, might I say, focused in your evil. Very precise. You want something, you don't just muck about.
Well, I kind of have to be. I mean, I'm the only one controlling these humans. Without me, I mean, they would be set free into the wild.
I see. Well, you have given me a lot to think about, my sir. I thank you for that, honestly.
Yes, enjoy your new life. Maybe I'll see you in a couple of years after my army has grown.
Maybe you will.
All right. With that, he starts walking back to the camp.
Okay. So I'm just in a pen.
Yeah, you're in a pen. Like a wooden pen.
Tell me about the walls in this place.
Tell
me.
Shabby
Do I have to
wooden.
make, like, a check?
Just fences, like wooden fences. Standing up, you can walk over them, but on all fours, you kind of are blocked off.
Okay. Tell me about this camp.
The camp seems to be surrounded by forest, but this is an open plain.
How many people do there seem to be, roughly?
About 30, 40.
30, 40. Now, he pointed out a detail that he probably shouldn't have told a Minotaur.
What might that be?
His mental connection to them will get severed if he gets, severed. So, and they'll just go on about their lives. So, but the thing is, he has the power, like he says, of a pact, which, if he has the right gods, that can be very, very powerful. So I don't know if I want to take on him, because he might just use magic to kill me,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to think about. Is there anything in my pen, such as food, or...
Oh, there seems to be grass.
And I still have my weapon?
Yes, you still do.
Interesting. And it's daytime, correct?
Yes, it seems to be the middle of the day, or sort of the early side of the day.
Okay, I don't want to bring too much attention to myself right now, so... Oh, I know that Minotaurs are carnivorous, so I'm just gonna try to eat the grass and see if I like it or not.
You've never really eaten grass before. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Please don't be this is how I die.
Grass.
3.
3, okay. So with that,
No shot.
you put a mouthful of grass in your mouth, and it is too gross for you to eat. You spit it out.
Okay, good. That's better than dying. Yeah, I try to not bring attention once again, but I kind of, take it out of my mouth and just slowly set it on the floor so no one freaks out.
As you continue with your day, a couple of the cannibals come up to you, kind of hobble over to you, and they look over at you, and they point over to one of the female calves.
Yeah. Oh, is there something you need?
One of them says, "Wow."
Oh, I see. You're wanting me to love this calf very much.
They nod at you.
Tell me, sir, can you understand what I'm saying?
Um, One of them holds their head and kind of shakes for a moment, and the other says, "Yeah, well."
Then how did you know to say no if you don't understand me?
One of them with his head shaking, he looks over at you for a moment and says, "Help us! I don't want to eat meat." And he shakes his head once more and looks over at you with a big smile on his face. He says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa."
I see. These people have no I whisper this to myself, like, in thought. People have no control over themselves because of this man of great power. So, I'm not gonna do anything to the calf, but I go over and sit next to it and, like, pet it a little bit. But I don't do anything, like, loving it very much.
Okay.
So
The calf
don't do
doesn't
anything.
seem to notice you very much and just eats the grass.
Yeah.
The other two cannibals slowly hobble over, seeming to be happy.
Oh, does this make you happy, my friends, my boys?
They both shake their head very, very fast and hobble back over to the camp.
Okay. Is there a way I could sleep now and wake up at night?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay, this might seem dumb, but there's a reason. Before I do that, as I scope out the camp, can I see where where this big magic man is hiding?
Oh, he's not hiding. He's just sitting on the throne.
Oh, so, okay.
He seems to be just sitting there motionless.
Okay, this is what I'm think. There's two ways I can go about this. Sleep now, wait till night, and I have my full energy to kill the guy. Or two, just sneak out of camp, but they both take rolls, and we know how bad my rolls have been. And both rolls can kill me. There's another option, and that's try to talk my way out of this. But I don't trust that. But it's an option I could try.
Well, you do have one advantage that he doesn't, and that's horns. So you could just like stab him in the face with your horns.
But will he have people awake at night?
If you can find him alone, like, I don't know.
But any place where I'm not in the pen will seem suspicious, I'm supposed.
Like,
I'm guessing.
Well, that's your home. They don't want you leaving. Sorry, what?
By him sitting in the throne motionless, is he like just sitting there and like looking at his pen, or is he literally not moving at all?
He's literally not moving at all.
All right, I'm 90% sure that him controlling people means that he's like literally like controlling them, like he sees what they see and he's moving them himself.
Interesting.
That's what I feel like he's doing.
So all those. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. That is interesting, Davis. But since I didn't know that before you said that, my character's not gonna know that. I don't want to be all metagaming.
No.
Okay.
You can use what we say, right?
Well, I mean, also, the only thing I tell your people who play my games is like, it's not like you're playing this one-on-one. Like, you are literally in this situation for hours. You can think about it for hours.
Okay. I just don't want to like kind of ride off of what they say.
I mean, yeah, it's up to you, man.
That is
Eli,
pretty
I
cool.
will say I've made some decisions based on what the commentators have said before. It's not like
Okay.
Like beat up a bully by screaming at him.
Magic school.
Magic School.
Cameron's my right hand man during
Okay.
my
So, okay, before I try any of the routes that could get me killed, I'm gonna try to holler over at the guy. So, did he tell me any like thing that could be his name?
No, he did not.
I say, I haul over and I go, sir. Why do I sound like this now? Sir, please, I have to speak with you for a second.
He does not move, and some of the cannibals look over, and one of them approaches the throne and like shakes him a little bit, and he coughs a little bit and leans over, almost hunched, and he looks over at you and says, "Oh, I'll be right over." And he steps down off of his throne and starts approaching, and he eventually gets there, and he says, "Oh, what might I help you with?"
You just, I guess, given me a lot to think about. So, is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Oh, of course. I can't talk for long though.
Yes, of course. You're a very busy man, I presume.
Yes, I just need to keep concentration.
I see. So where did you happen to? Is there like a deity? You said there was a curse, a boon, a pact. These terms are very familiar to me. Who did you end up getting all this power from?
To be honest, I don't really know myself. I was an adventurer long ago, and I found some cave systems up north, way north. And eventually I went through them and found some ancient words. I read them aloud, and the deity approached me. He never told me his name. I only saw him and his form. He told me that if I wanted something from him, he would take something from me. Almost like a curse, as you said.
He took.
Oh, sorry, are you asking something?
Yes. What did this deity take? Of course, you don't have to answer this. This is all just curiosity flaring in my mind.
Make a persuasion check.
$18.
Wow, okay. He looks over at you and says, well, you see, it's almost like, one of those ancient fables where they take something and they give you something back.
Hold on for a second. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, later.
Okay.
That was my mom.
All right, can I keep going? Okay.
Sorry.
He tells you that I gained the power to have absolute control over people. I mean, of course, at a limit. But he also gave me this, and he pulls back his shirt a little bit, and you can see the necrotic stuff creeping from his heart to his arm. And he says, "I'm extremely frail. I'm barely alive. The only people keeping me alive are my people feeding me."
See, it's very, very sad to hear this because you seem to be a very nice guy.
Yes, I'm like you in a lot of ways. You have no ways of defending yourself, and, well, the humans always just keep attacking.
The woes of us.
Yes. Was there anything else?
Yes, I usually a conversation piece for me when I'm talking to people is family. So this is sensitive. You don't have to answer. But do you have any family? A wife? A little girl, boy? Some parents? Siblings?
Oh, yes, I do. I believe you met them. And he points over at some of the tribes people, or the cannibals. And he says, "That is my wife, and those are my parents. And that's my little boy."
See. Well, you look like you have a very nice family, sir, and I'd love to meet them more.
Yes, it's quite a shame they didn't share my ideals. I mean, if it were up to me, I'd let them have free will. But you saw how that turned out.
Yes, of course. I have a, not like I don't. I'd love to share with you. I have a father of my own.
Oh, one of the bulls, right?
One of the bulls, correct. A father and a mother. They love me very, very much, at least from what I can tell.
That's
And
good.
Yes, he's just. I wonder what he's thinking about me right now. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. It's quite a shame they didn't join you on your little adventure.
It is. Yeah. I miss my father.
Oh, and I assume you want to go find him, right?
No, that is not what I'm getting at. I thought I was not gonna see my father for a long time. Anyway, this little home that you've given me is not see. This is this is just coincidence, and I'm very happy you've given it to me. So you are not causing me harm whatsoever.
Yes, that's good. Well, it's quite a shame that you know how to talk, because if you didn't know how to talk, I could be able to set you free, but I mean, you could tell anyone about us.
Yes, I understand that. If I was in your position, I would not let the Minotaur free at all.
Yes, of course.
Well, that's pretty much all the questions I had for you. So thank you for shedding some of your time to talk to me.
All right. All right. So he starts walking back and says, "Oh, thank you for your time as well. I always love the chats. I miss them."
As do I. But you seem to be keeping me company, and I hope I'm doing them for you.
All right. So he heads back, sits down in his chair, and you hear a slight yelp, and then he stops moving. And eventually, do you just want to keep staying there?
Yes. Is it still daytime?
It's seeming to be later in the evening, yes.
All right. Can I take a little nap, or does it every time I go to sleep does it have to be like 12 hours later?
No. I'll allow you to wake up if you sleep now.
Okay. I want to take a little nap.
Okay. How long?
It's evening. Only like. How long until I like feel affected by the sleep? What's the minimum time for that?
Well, you can take a short rest. I believe that's 4 hours.
Yeah, I was thinking 4 hours.
Okay,
I'll take a short
cool.
rest.
By the time that happens, by the time you wake up, it will be nighttime.
Yes.
All right. So, with that, you eventually fall asleep, and you wake up 4 hours later. It seems most of the cannibals have lit the bonfire again and are all standing around it, chit-chatting with each other. And you also see a small-looking cannibal sitting next to you.
Hey, friend. How are you doing on this evening?
You look up, and as you do, you recognize the cannibal, actually. It seems to be the one he pointed to that he said it was his son. And he seems to be about 10 years old.
Hello, my boy. You must be the big man's son.
He looks over at you, unblinking.
Well, you have very. Does he have hair? I know a lot of these people are bald.
He does not have hair. All of them are bald.
Except for the main guy. That's nice. I was gonna say he had nice hair because he was bald, but I don't want to tick these people off.
I don't
You
think
have
you'd
a
understand it anyway, but
you have a very nice head there. And I like pat his head, not aggressively at all, just like tap tap.
As he does, he just stares at you, and a single tear starts rolling down his cheek.
Hey, what's wrong, boy? And I wipe the tear off of his cheek.
As you do, some of the blood comes off, and he looks over at you and says, "I kill people."
I see. You kill people. Oh, that's a lot to take in for a boy, I presume. Okay. Well, have a nice evening, I suppose. Getting dark.
He looks at you and shakes his head once more, and he says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa."
As per usual.
And he starts running back on all fours.
So are they awake around the bonfire?
Some of them are awake, a lot of them are asleep.
How many of them are awake?
make your daring.
About 10 people. And you can see now that it's getting dark, they're patrolling the edges of the forest.
Oh, so is there anyone in the camp if there's only 10 people?
Most of them are asleep. There are a couple that are awake, but most of the people are out patrolling.
Any of them guarding the guy at all?
The guy is just sitting up there. There's no real guards. He doesn't really feel threatened, so he doesn't really have any guards.
Okay,
If
so
only your axe didn't suck and you could throw it.
that's like what I was thinking. I got very disappointed. Or if I made like a bow or something.
Is the fence weak enough to where he could just like walk out
Oh,
of it?
I'm
You
tall
could-
enough to walk over it.
Over it? Can I recommend something, or do you just want to figure this out on your own?
It's up to Riley if you can.
Sure, I don't care.
I mean, I just didn't know if you wanted to come up with a solution by yourself.
I have like 3 different solutions in my mind, but I don't know if they're. I don't know if the trust the validity of them. So I'm playing this very, very step by step.
Okay. Well, my idea, if you would like to hear it, is it seems like I don't know. I'm getting the impression. It's just a guess though. Maybe if you kill the dude, they'll all be like back to normal or
Yeah.
something. So what if you step over the gate, and then how far away is him from the pin?
I'd say about 30 feet.
You could walk a little closer, as quiet as you can, and then charge the dude, and with your horns, and like do like a running charge and stab him in the neck or something.
Here's another thing. We don't really know how this magic works. So what if I kill them? They have free will, and then get mad at me for killing their dad.
They don't
know?
like it. It's like
Well,
WandaVision, dude. They don't want to be a part of this anymore.
I guess. Like, what if they forget everything that just happened? I don't know. I'm trying to play out every scenario, piece by piece.
Well, I'm glad you're thinking about it.
I
That
mean,
seems
like
to
the
be one of
fact
my-
that they can talk to you means they have a conscience, and like they don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So
They probably see you as a savior, and they'd help you get back.
Okay.
only that axe didn't suck.
So there's 10 of them patrolling. No, there's 10 of them awake. 20, 30.
Let me look
asleep.
something up real quick while you think about that.
Okay. I'll read this note Mom gave me.
No.
Or here's the thing: like, do you want to kill the guy and free everybody, or do you just want to leave?
Here's the
He
thing.
doesn't want to disappoint Peppy.
No, that's not what I
Wants to
care
kill
about
the
right
guy.
now. My
Well,
board is
I mean,
huge.
that is the thing. If you free everybody, that would be a successful adventure. The cannibals wouldn't be a problem anymore.
I legitimately don't care about, like, my dad at this moment. I just want to survive.
Right.
I miss him,
Do you-
but
Do you
I'm
have any
putting-
feelings about the people there? Do you want to save them?
no. My life is my number one
So
priority right
one
now.
thing I will tell you is assassinations aren't really in the game unless you are an assassin. But if they're unconscious or don't know about your presence, you do get a guaranteed critical hit.
Yeah, but that's if I get the roll, right?
No, you just automatically get it.
Oh, I don't even have to roll? It's just an action?
Yeah, it's just an action as long as they don't know you're coming.
Yeah, that seems a little too good to be true because I don't know if this guy can see through the other people.
Behind them?
I'm not behind him, and if I go out of my cage, they're all gonna. So the reason I woke up at night was because I'm thinking I have to act at night because there are 40 people are awake at day, and at night there's only 10 awake, and some of them are patrolling. Less people are awake, but that guy is still concentrating. But since he's in guard mode at night, and if he can see through them, It's
The
the
other
other
guy
way.
had to like get his attention before he even came out of his little concentration state. So you could probably even be in front of him and be fine.
okay. Okay, so Riley, how
Yeah.
fast can I run? Do you know? I didn't see that on my sheet. I just saw
well,
30 feet
okay.
walking.
Okay, so if you're sprinting, you can run 60 feet in like a couple like seconds. Like it will only take a little bit. If you're sprinting, if you're just regularly walking, you can walk 30 feet. If you're sneaking, you can only go 15 feet.
I'm not gonna sneak. My guy he's 6 feet tall and he's 13 years old. He's not gonna sneak.
So if you
He's not.
if you regularly walk, you can almost get there in like
How far away is the throne
Oh.
from the pen?
about
He said
40
about 10
feet. About 30 to
40.
40 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, that works perfectly because my ability, what is it called?
The dashing
Goring
one.
charge or whatever.
Goring Rush. Immediately after you use dash action on your turn, move at least 20 feet. You can make one melee attack. Wait, so I have to do it after a dash action?
You can use a dash action right now. You're not in combat.
Okay. So after I use a dash action, I have to be at least 20 feet away, and then I can make one melee attack with my horns as a bonus action.
Since
So-
and then Riley said if he's unaware of it, it will automatically be critical?
Yeah, it will. So that means double damage or double dice rolls.
I have another thing called Hammering Horns, but I'm not going to use it because it just knocks people away. It doesn't actually pierce them. So Goring Rush, if I charge 60 feet in a couple seconds,
Yeah.
try to hit him while he's sleeping, and I get a guaranteed critical hit with no roll, that seems like the best plan.
Now, I mean, you are still in a cage, so you have to break the cage. It's
No,
not. It wouldn't
I
be
can-
hard, but you'd have to do that.
It's just a fence, Riley told me. I can literally step over it.
Yeah, you can just step over it.
Oh, I thought the
He-
outside was a fence, but the
No.
cage was like an actual cage.
No,
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 it's
no.
just-
There's no fence guarding the outside walls. It's just kind of an area. This is
Well,
just literally
I
this
was thinking of the area entirely wrong.
this pen is literally made for the intelligence of cows to make them stay in.
Yeah, and I'm very grateful that he thinks I'm a cow that can talk.
I wanted to say this earlier, but you would play it. I love how like Eli's pretending to be dumber than he is, but but he actually just didn't know a thing he was talking about. So he actually just was that dumb.
I knew a little bit about religion, but I genuinely didn't know.
At least it's not like Cameron, who is in magic school and still doesn't know what magic is.
Enough about magic school.
My stream just a big ad for magic school.
So anyway, guys, thank you Magic School for sponsoring.
All
this
right, thanks
episode.
for our sponsor, Magic School.
Powered by Magic School. Yeah, what I say, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly step out of the fence when I see that people are kind of like, when I see the way is cleared, and I'm going to, dash action and Goring Rush. Which is dash action to take a dice roll, or is it just a thing?
No, you just do it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a dash action in Goring Rush, try to critical him while he's in the middle of a concentration state.
All right, so as you step over the fence, you notice that not anyone's paying attention to you since you're right next to the fence. Since it will only take a little bit, or only a couple seconds for the dash action, you're just charging him.
It's just as fast as possible, 60 feet in a couple seconds, charging him horns first.
All right, so you start revving your engines. You're realizing like this is a make or break moment. Might be like your last moments on the earth. Your mind goes to your mother and father, but also your brothers, and how they will miss you if you die here. And you go full speed. You're sprinting as fast as you can, horns out and nostrils flared. You as you're running towards him, you notice in a couple seconds of being in front of him, his eyes are completely white and he's like staring off into empty space. And so your horns pierce his shoulders against the chair. Roll for your damage.
Come on.
Everybody cross their fingers.
Do more than 2 damage, please.
Wait, what dice is that?
Well, what is Goring Rush? I think it's a D6, right?
Goring Rush is... It doesn't have any dice, it's just like a thing you can do as a bonus action to a dash action.
Oh. I mean, it has to have a way to calculate how much damage
yeah,
it does,
just-
man.
Wait, no. I'm stupid. It's a D6, that's horns. I'm very dumb.
There you go.
Okay, D6.
Oh, plus your. Oh, wait. Yeah, you got decent strength, right?
3. I have good strength. 9.
Oh,
Or
so
15.
what'd you roll?
3.
Rolled what?
3.
Okay, so roll again. Since it's a critical.
Three again.
Oh, nice. And as you rush
that
him,
Oh wait, I forgot this was a 6. I'm stupid. Okay.
a couple of the cannibals look over and they start going, ooh. And you realize you pierced him right through the heart, right where the corruption is spreading. And as you pull your horns out, the whiteness fades from his eyes, and he looks up at you. He coughs up some blood that seems to be black. He says, oh, what happened? Do you say anything in response?
I go, is he dying right now?
He seems to be badly injured, but not dead.
I go, is this just an opportunity to say something, or can I, like, hit him again.
You can hit him again and say something if you'd like in response.
I take out my messed up club. And I say, I take out my messed up club and I say, never, and I mean never, underestimate a Minotaur.
All
And then
right.
I roar and hit him.
Oh.
Okay. Are you just like hitting him in the head?
I'm bonking him, bro. I'm making sure he turns into spaghetti after this.
Okay. Well, since he is badly injured and really can't defend himself, roll for damage again. Also,
D4.
by the way, you're not proficient. Never mind.
And what?
No, never mind. It's fine.
Anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
D4 or D6?
D4.
D4.
Two.
All right. How do you want to do this?
What? I don't understand.
Basically, whenever a monster or a boss is defeated and whoever gets the last blow, I ask them, how do you want to do this?
Oh, and then I just get to this. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just get to decide my execution, basically.
Yeah, basically. Your finisher.
So I take my lumpy axe and I smash his legs first. So
Okay.
he can't get up. I slash his arms so he can't move. And then right before I hit his head, I like finish what I'm saying before, and I just go like, never. Because I said never underestimate a Minotaur. And then I kill him basically, and then I say never, and then finish him off with hitting him in the head.
All right. With that, you club him in the face. You realize your axe isn't sharp enough to actually, go inside the skull. So you hear a large crack, and his body goes limp, and you realize the light fades from his eyes, and he is now dead. And eventually, you see something moving on his hand. The purple is moving. And he gets back up, and he starts laughing. You finally killed the host. And he looks over at you, now with completely black eyes, and he says, time to find a new target. And the purple goes away from his arm, and he falls again to the floor, dead. And at this point, you see a couple of people start standing up and wiping off the blood, and a couple of people crying, and you see the son clutching his mother, and they all seem to be huddling in fear.
Can I make like a little speech?
You can say whatever you want.
I yell from my diaphragm, because I'm a large Minotaur man. I go, people,
Yeah, just
I have freed you from the grasp of this man's magic spell. Go about your lives and do what you please, free of his magic. On this day, I freed you. I do not need thanks, or rewards, or money, or anything. I just go home. Meet with the last family you have, and if you don't have family or friends, just live.
All right, and with that, people hear your speech, and some run off into the forest, some still clutching each other.
I decide to go onto the trail in deep thought, thinking about what I've just done, and how the fact that spirit isn't actually dead. But I don't mind it much, because all I want right now is to go back home and see my dad and mom.
All right, and as you go back on the trail, you realize that you have done it, and although your friends or acquaintances have died, you have slain the monster, and now you are with your father. And as you do, as you're putting your axe away, you notice something weird. On your right hand, where you've slayed the creature, you see a small purple spot.
Raggy.
I go, wait, so my parents aren't religious, so I wouldn't say, like, by the gods or anything, like,
No, probably not.
By the gods.
no, my goodness. What was my accent again? I forgot my accent. I haven't talked in a long time.
If you're thinking
You
about chopping
literally
off your
just
hand,
made a
you're just
speech.
gonna break it. You're not gonna chop off your hand like that. That axe will not chop anything.
Okay, hello, I'm right. Okay, I got it.
Hello.
Oh no, I seem to have gotten infected by this wizard.
All right.
Oh no, I said that to myself and I go, Father, I have news.
You are still on the trail. You're just walking back at this point.
You said, you said
He's
you're with your
insane.
dad.
He's said that he was with his dad.
Oh, no. I meant figuratively. Like, you were with your dad as a monster slayer.
Oh, okay, that was.
Sorry, that was a weird wording.
He's just on the trail. Papi, I have
Okay.
some news.
Keep that in game, and I say to myself, "That's what I'm going to say." To
He's
my dad.
rehearsing it. He's
That's
rehearsing.
what I'm going to say to my dad when I get home.
And with that, you feel heaviness over your spirit and your body. And that's where we're going to end it.
Dude, this was so fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we got to have this first session with you guys. So is there anything you guys would like to say to the audience before we sign off today?
Thank you, Magic School, for sponsoring this episode again.
Yeah, thank you, Magic School.
Remember later tonight, there's going to be another session.
Yes.
Grant,
And they'll probably
Grants
leave
at
themes
10 p.m.
otherwise.
I'm very excited to see Grant's. Do we have any name with Grant? Like, do we know who he's gonna be?
I believe his name is, let's see here, actually.
Bob.
Pull it up. It's not Bob.
Damn it.
Larry.
Ginseng.
His name's Dar. Daar.
Nice
Dar,
to meet you,
man.
His name's Dar Norixis.
Girls can't be gamers.
So, with that, I thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for next time, either for the next DAG game or for any others. You can see the other people's perspective from Nabia. I believe Ronnie and Ben, who's playing Grim and Lil Ro,
So like,
are in the same place.
If Eli's character's dad is the only weaponsmith, and one of the other two need to go to get a weaponsmith, you have a crossover.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's how
there's
it's set
already
up.
been crossovers in Ben and Ronnie's campaigns.
Yes, there has.
When there's a crossover, does the other person in the call, or do you speak for the other person as an NPC?
If it's a small thing, I speak for the other person. If it's a big thing, I'll ask them.
Okay.
So, thank you all for watching again, and we will see you next time. Thank you.